Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories like these. Now, let's get into today's story video.
Cheating wife is mad she lost a big house, 2 cars and financial stability after she did it with 2 men in my bed. Cheating the wife is furious. She lost a large home, 2 vehicles, and her financial security after doing it with 2 guys in my bed. I believed I had the ideal life 10 years ago. A 6-figure salary, a lovely wife, a spotless home, 2 new vehicles, and a kid on the way. My job satisfied me, I was competent at it, and the stability was excellent. My wife loved me for who I was and overlooked my imperfections while I worked to improve them. In turn, I loved her, and we seemed to be the ideal pair. People would constantly compliment us and express their envy of our relationship and everything. It just got better from there. I continued being promoted, the kids, now 3, were born, and we ultimately moved from a drab home to an opulent one. My wife had a successful job as an optometrist, and we enjoyed pleasant holidays every year. I thought I had it figured out again. I'm not sure what sparked it, but I purchased her a Tesla for her birthday in early 2015. She hadn't had a new vehicle since 2008, and I was always getting new automobiles, so I shocked her. She adored it, and I recall spending the whole day in it, taking rides and finding out how all of the gadgets and emblems worked. From then, it was all downhill. I'm not sure what prompted it, but she grew progressively distant from not just me, but also our children in the months that followed. My 10-year-old daughter, in particular, was wounded by this and would often initiate discussions with her mother in order to get her to communicate. On some days, this worked and she was charming, on others, it had the reverse effect. The first time I realized I wasn't her guy of choice was in July 2016, when I discovered she wasn't attending to yoga courses but still telling me she was. We were on the same phone plan, and as part of that contract, we could see where our phones were. I was surfing the app as usual one day when I saw she looked to be at someone's residence. I didn't press her about it when she returned home from yoga since she had been unusually upset the day before. Instead, I elected to pay careful attention to where she went during her yoga sessions. It usually seems to wind up at the same home, a well-off area a bit north of town, maybe a step above ours. I was about to confront her when I realized she had resumed her yoga practice. She became really distant and hormonal throughout this time. My whole family had been seeing this behavior for almost a year, but I had had enough. I sat her down and inquired as to what was going on. When I questioned her about the yoga places, she accused me of stalking, violating her privacy, and being a great ick. I then questioned her, "Are you cheating on me?" The answer, of course, was no. In the weeks that followed, I was met with skepticism, hostility, and outright fury. She was clearly aware that I had caught on, and she was now attempting to play the "I can't believe you'd think this" victim card. But I was aware. I saw right through it all. When she eventually confessed to seeing and sleeping with another guy, that's when I realized I'd made a mistake. I had forgiven her. She told me she loved me and our family, and I believed her at the time. I believed she could change. I was mistaken. We attempted marital counseling. We attempted to take grown-up days. It seemed to work. We were content, and she looked to be having a good time, and it seemed like I had resurrected the old her. I was relieved since it enabled me to devote more time to my children and my career while also reducing my overall stress. My work trip to San Diego, I reside on the East Coast of the United States, was cut short when one of my colleagues became unwell, and our customers insisted on rescheduling. It was inconvenient, but we made the next flight out and came home. I'm not sure why I didn't inform her I was returning, but I didn't. Perhaps I wanted it to be a surprise. When I got into my house, the only surprise was seeing a Ford SUV in my garage and seeing not 1, but 2 guys in my bed. Together with my wife. All of this occurred only yesterday. Finally, I'm putting it into words. When it occurred, my wife began talking, anxiously attempting to explain. I didn't hear any of it. I left my room, went downstairs, and got myself a drink. When I came upstairs, I found my wife sitting there, clothed, with a sorrowful look on her face, having heard the guys above leave. She began chatting, but I was having none of it. I told her to go. I told her to leave my home. I told her I'd get her belongings to her by the end of the week. She attempted to play the "what about the kids" ruse, but I was already done. I'm heartbroken, but not for her. I'm sorry for my kids, and I'm sorry for whomever she meets next. I would battle tooth and nail for my children, but my greatest dread is losing them. I am certain that the court will find in favor of moms. I hope they understand that I've spent the past 3 years trying to repair a broken marriage for my family, and nothing has worked. This morning, I informed my children. They inquired as to why mom did not stay the night before. They're all upstairs together since I didn't make them go to school today. This is a horrible scenario for everyone concerned, and it should have been avoided entirely. I don't feel sorry for my wife. I hope she will be labeled as a cheater for the rest of her life. I'd want it to follow her. I want everyone to know. She is a well-known optometrist in our community. If word gets out, it might be disastrous for her company. Story 2. I found out that my 22/female wife of 3 years has been cheating on 24/male while I am serving a tour overseas in the military. Please help me process my thoughts and make a solid plan. Okay, I'm sorry, but I have to vent. Where do I begin? So, I have a wife, whom I met in high school. We were like immediate best friends, I believe sophomore year, we just had that connection, you know? I joined the military after graduating, and she and I often spoke about dating, but she was either seeing someone or I was. We had bad timing. Eventually, we reached a point when we were both single and decided, screw it. Let's give it a go. I would travel home on weekends since I was stationed very near to home, 4 to 5 hours, and she lived approximately the same distance from there, so we met in the middle. We hit it off almost flawlessly, just as we had hoped. Her craziness mirrored mine, and so forth. My father was all like, one day you're not marrying this chick. Girls are the devil's creation. I'm from the South, and then, about a week later, he woke her and me up to inform us we were heading to the courthouse to be married. Yay, because none of us had prepared anything. I was forced to wear jeans and a PT shirt. She, on the other hand, looked stunning as usual. So far, everything was going swimmingly. We had a home on base, a child, a couple of pets, a car payment, shared bank accounts, the whole. If I may quote a song, I'd have to say everything is amazing. After 2 years of the finest couple chapters of my life, I was sent abroad because the ideal moment to send me away wasn't while I was single, but when I was married with a 2-year-old at home. Yay, so I arrived here, and it's not too horrible here. My workplace is like a huge family, and the weather isn't too horrible in either way. My wife and I texted, chatted on the phone, FaceTimed, and did all the wicked adult things that couples do when one of them is away. It was going well at first, but then work took over and I had less time to communicate than either of us would have wanted. That was really creepy, and I could see it disturbed with her, but it passed. I attempted to figure out what was going on, but then she simply began disappearing for hours or days at a time. I felt lonely, and I attempted to contact her to find out what was going on, but it didn't work. So after a few months, I connected enough dots: excessive spending, strange behavior, lack of caring, talks of future aloneness, dropping off the face of the earth, weird relationship memes about boys and stuff, deleting my comments on her posts, to figure it warranted a quick Facebook search, so I got on the Google machine. I discovered that she removed the most recent item I posted on her wall, which I posted to demonstrate that I was thinking about her. I then discovered that her relationship status is blank, which was weird, and I attempted to chat to her about it, but she was gone again. So after a couple of hours of waiting for her to text back and watching YouTube videos, I decided I wanted to see images of her and our boy, so I went back on Facebook and looked through her pictures. By the way, my baby is becoming gigantic, and you wouldn't think he's only 2. I saw that virtually all of her recent photographs had at least 1 like, which isn't unusual, but one name kept cropping up in it, so I clicked his name out of curiosity. He's been in a relationship with my wife since February 10th of this year, and it's now mid-May. Oh, by the way, this is still going on. I was treated to photographs of my kid with his family members stating how much they enjoy seeing him, as well as a number of cute memes she shared with him and his friends of friends, aka not me, lovely little nothings left on his wall, and other stuff. I spoke with her mother, and she said that my wife has been telling people that we've been divorced for, I'm not sure how many, months. Her pals all said the same thing, yes. A month before this, a random girl from her childhood contacted me telling me this, but my wife informed me that she's an old friend with whom she had a quarrel and who threatened to split us up. I guess this is probably enough of a rant before I run out of internet to write on, but I could go on and on, so I'll end it here. She wanted a divorce at first, but I calmed her down a little since I feel we can overcome this with enough effort and mutual understanding. What I'm not sure about is whether I should go ahead and throw her down the cliff for breaking my trust, or if giving her a second opportunity is a good idea. I believe it is, but I could need some other input/advice. Thank you for your consideration. Edit, please accept my heartfelt apologies. I was working, I had a breakdown while working on a jet today and had to go speak to the first shirt, but I'm doing better now. I'm now attempting to read all of your comments. Thank you very much for all of your help and advice. I would give you all gold if I wasn't enrolled and could afford it.